Welcome back to the 1 Million Cups Fargo podcast. 1 Million Cups is a free nationwide weekly program created by the Kauffman Foundation in 2012 and is designed to educate, engage, and connect entrepreneurs. 1 Million Cups is organized in 35 states across the country, and the Fargo, North Dakota chapter is one of the most active and largest in the nation. Today, we have a special episode featuring our first ever Dean's Day, where we join in on a conversation with 5 regional business school deans discussing their advice, experiences, and how their schools are contributing to the entrepreneurial ecosystem in our community. We'll be joined by Christopher Mason of Concordia, Scott Beaulier of NDSU, Amy Henley of UND, Karel Sovak of University of Mary, and Joshua Behl of MSUM. Today's event is hosted by Greg Tavine, the Executive Director of Emerging Prairie, along with today's moderator, Amy Whitney, who is the Director of University of North Dakota's Center for Innovation. Hope you enjoy. Let's listen in.
Well, so fun to hear for good. I think about the idea because we knew you. I think today we have a unique opportunity to hear from some really special folks. And it's my honor to introduce to you Amy Whitney, one of those people I'm better because of her work that she brings experience from the East Coast. She runs the University of North Dakota's Center for Innovation. She's a teacher, she's a thinker, she's a designer, but most importantly, I think she's an advocate. She's an advocate for innovation, for entrepreneurs, for risk takers, and she's going to be our moderator at our first Dean's Day. So with that, Amy, the floor is yours, and kick us off and make sure to ask these deans a few hard questions because they're used to overseeing the grades, but let's make them a little uncomfortable.
Hopefully I can make them sweat a little bit, Greg. Thank you for that kind introduction. First, today is Veterans Day, so I would like to give a shout out to our veterans and active duty service members. Thank you for your service and sacrifice for our country. It truly is appreciated for everything that you do. I am very excited to be able to moderate today and, have a conversation with some regional business school deans about how their programs inspire, support, and collaborate with our entrepreneurial ecosystem. They have the wonderful privilege of working with great faculty and also helping students really think about how they can create change in our communities and really bring that entrepreneurial spirit forward in the region. And it's really exciting. And I'm looking forward to hearing from them today. So we have a great panel, and I'll introduce them as they join us here on this stage so that you know who is with us today. One of our first panelists is Dr. Amy Henley from the University of North Dakota, and she is the Strindon Professor of Management and Dean of the Nistler College of Business and Public Administration at UND. The Nistler College is home to 5 academic departments, including the School of Entrepreneurship and Management. And then we also have Christopher Mason from Concordia, and he is the Dean of the Offutt School of Business at Concordia College. Bringing 35 years of experience of corporate leadership, 7 years in the academy, Mason is passionate about influencing the next generation of transformative leaders. Also joining us today, we have Joshua Behl of Minnesota State University Moorhead. Josh is the Dean of the College of Business, Analytics, and Communication at MSUM. He's a graduate of Concordia College, the University of Mary, and NDSU. So a good sampling of all the regional schools there, Josh. His college consists of the Pasca School of Business, Professional Management, Mathematics, School of Communication and Journalism, Computer Science and Information Systems, and Economics, Law, and Politics. We also have Karel Sovak from the University of Mary. Karel is originally from Akron, Ohio, and came to North Dakota through the U.S. Air Force. Karel was self-employed for 20 years before he got a master's degree and eventually a doctorate in applied management. He's currently the Dean of the Gary Tharaldson School of Business at the University of Mary in Bismarck, and he is married with 5 children and 3 grandchildren. And then our last panelist is Scott Beaulier from North Dakota State University. Scott is the Ronald and Kate Olson Dean of Business at NDSU. He's an economist by training, and he's led NDSU's College of Business since 2016. It's been a time of growth for the college, They've had historic fundraising success and a shift in focus towards the Fargo-Moorhead community and region. Thank you all for joining us today. And we have about 20 to 25 minutes ahead of us as a panel. So I'm looking forward to talking with all of you. And I think just to help our audience so that they can learn even more about your programs and a little bit more about what it is your schools do, I'm wondering if we could just do like we're in the entrepreneurial spirit. Let's do a little pitch and a little pitch about a 2-minute highlight reel, if you will. Some key demographics about your programs and the schools that you all have the privilege of leading. So, scope, size, different majors, minors, strengths of your schools, that would be great. So I think we'll start with Dean Henley because she's right next to me on the screen.
Thank you so much, Amy, and thank you all for having us today. At the Nistler College, we're very excited about the fact that we combine private enterprise with public policy. So one thing that makes our college unique is the political science and public administration department, along with our traditional business disciplines of marketing, management, accounting, econ, finance, and of course, entrepreneurship. So we're very excited that we have a School of Entrepreneurship and Management that oversees exceptional experiential learning for our students, such as business plan competitions, where the winner this year had the opportunity to ring the closing bell, of course, virtually, but at NASDAQ. So it was a tremendous opportunity for our students. And we have an entrepreneurship minor, major, and certificate. So very active and working together with the Center for Innovation as well, too, with experiential opportunities.
Thanks, Amy. Chris.
Thanks for having me as well. Like everyone on the panel, we've got degrees and certificates that support the entrepreneurship program, which first we focus on for students who want to take that risk, that want to go out and start something. But more importantly, we're also focused on those that maybe will never see that in their lifetime. The entrepreneurial mindset drives skills which are lifelong, regardless of what students want to do in their careers. And so our ecosystem within the college is not just driving business students to make sure they have the entrepreneurial mindset and skills, but also across campus. And so we actually have approximately 50% of our students in the entrepreneurial courses that are not in the business school. And so we get great conversation, great varying degrees of perspectives, and it connects with the community as well. And obviously, the work we're doing here today and all the work that everyone does at Emerging Prairie connects people together. And so our focus is really driving the entrepreneurial mindset within the college, within the school, and within the region.
Thanks, Chris. Karel.
Yeah, it's Carl, but that's okay.
Oh, sorry.
I'm one of the new deans, but I've really been a part of Dean's Day for many, many years. Very fortunate to be a part of it. So thank you for allowing us to be here. Our school is based with about 7 different undergrads and 4 master's programs, and we're working on a doctoral program as well. Hopefully that'll be able to be announced here shortly. One of the things that I think we pride ourselves on is that we're about the formation of the whole person. We want to give them the technical skills that they certainly need to be successful, but we also want to develop them in the spiritual sense and allowing them to be good stewards to the communities they're going to serve. So we want to make sure that all of our graduates are possessing everything that businesses need and want in an employee. So we work with the workforce, business leaders in our community to say, what do you want our grads to possess? And then we put our programs to work in that area. One of the nice things about this is I've always been with the entrepreneurial side of things, co-founder of the Idea Center, part of 1 Million Cups community, Make Well, TEDx, you name it, we get ourselves involved and get our students involved. So why we don't have a formal entrepreneurship program, we do it on a more informal basis. And I think that that's what allows our students to really develop themselves in that area because they're passionate and they want to be a part of that.
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you, Carl. And it looks like we lost.
There he
I
is.
think we got. All right. Excellent. Scott, you're back. All right, how about we move on to Josh and then we can go back to Scott.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here today, and thanks for inviting us over here at MSUM. So my college, the College of Business Analytics and Communication, consists of about 1,400 undergraduate and graduate students. Across our college, we have 28 different degree programs and 3 graduate programs. Some of the highlights of our college, our business school, the Paseka School of Business, is accredited by AACSB. Our project management program is one of the only programs in the United States, one of the few in the world that are accredited by the Project Management Institute. Beyond that, we have 3 additional programmatic accreditations across our college. And why that's important to us is that it illustrates a level of quality, of measured quality, that we can say to our students, this is what you can expect when you come here and when you leave our walls and leave our campus. On top of that, our students in our accounting program have great results on the CPA exam. We have a 91.7% pass rate on the CPA exam. And across our entire college, we have over 600 different articulation agreements with a variety of technical programs and other universities across the state of Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota.
Thank you. You all have excellent programs, and just learning a little bit more about them is appreciated. I'm wondering if we can talk a little bit about, North Dakota is a small state with a lot of community connectedness. How has that connectedness translated into some successful collaborations and successes for your programs? And Karel, why don't we start with you?
We look to get ourselves involved not just in the Bismarck-Mandan area, but throughout really the United States. And with our Rome campus, we have really a great opportunity to expand on an international basis as well. And so some of those collaborations that take place, like I said, have been really entrepreneurial ventures. I mean, for a small university in Bismarck, North Dakota, to take on a venture of having a campus in Rome, it was really unheard of at the time. And Monsignor Shea has a great vision for us. He has always provided us with a vision and direction and focus of where we should go, getting us involved with Arizona State, with their programs down there. We have campuses in Peru that allow our students to have that international focus. We take a lot of global studies programs as well. For example, I take a group of students on a pilgrimage to Israel every 2 years. There's others who go to London and get the students involved. And so it's a matter of really finding out what's out there, what's available, and then who can we collaborate with to make this work.
Excellent, thank you. Amy.
Thank you. So we have great ties to the Grand Forks community, largely through our alumni. We have exceptional alumni who are very proud of the entrepreneurial actions they've taken. So they like to give back to our current students and let them have invaluable opportunities that they may not have had otherwise. So it affects Grand Forks and the state and the region, but even nationally, to where our students can have some connection to entrepreneurial success and entrepreneurial failure, so that they can ask questions and they can get a realistic job preview before their responsibilities are quite as intimidating. And I'm also excited about the work we do at the Grand Forks Air Base and the Air Force connections here. I think that's particularly relevant today on Veterans Day, but we have a great connection there in looking at entrepreneurial thinking kind of outside the box in different environments.
Mm-hmm. So I'm hearing a lot of crawl, walk, run stuff so far with both of the programs so far. So Chris, how about you? How does connectedness play out for you?
Well, we like U of Mary and a couple of other schools in North Dakota were founded by entrepreneurs. And when you think back 125 years plus for us, it was quite a leap to start the college. And so it's in the DNA. And the thing that I've noticed, and much like Karel, I came from the Twin Cities a number of years ago. The thing that drives my excitement and drives the opportunity that we all share, I think, are a couple of characteristics of North Dakota and Western Minnesota. First, being a very strong work ethic. Mm-hmm. Second, everyone is very open to work with each other. So I can make one phone call in a business in the Twin Cities, not get through But in Fargo-Moorhead and throughout the state, the willingness to connect with our students, to allow them to experience what it's like to help them in their potential new venture is amazing. And that feeling is there. And automatically within the state, I'm thinking we will be able to make connections just because of the way the fabric is in the community.
Mm-hmm. Chris. So Josh, how about for you?
Well, one of the things that we pride ourselves on within our college is we have an executive mentorship program, as well as a number of advisory boards across our programs. And a lot of programs, different universities have these advisory boards. But one of the things I think that makes ours a bit special is the depth to which we involve our students in those advisory boards. So it really creates an opportunity for not just our faculty to engage with the entrepreneurs in our communities in our region, or CEOs and so on and so forth, but our students are very much tied into that as well. So it gives them an opportunity to sort of expand their own social capital and their own social network. In addition to that, we, like everybody else, we have a lot of internships and things like that. But one of the things that we've done the last few years is we sort of up the ante when it comes to internships and making that a requirement for a lot of our degree programs. So students not only just get that hands-on experience in the job market, but again, get exposure to expand their social network as well.
Excellent. So Scott, you're back. Yay!
Thank you.
So just for the audience, because I know you were hopping in and out there, if you could just give a quick little elevator pitch about NDSU, and then maybe even an example or a highlight of how connectedness plays a really big part for the NDSU program.
Yeah, thanks a lot. We've had construction going on in the building, and it's disrupted things a number of times this week. So thanks for hanging with me. Yeah, we're excited to be one of the downtown campuses here in the Fargo-Moorhead area. Love what we're doing in the College of Business. Just to back up and summarize, 1,500 undergraduate students, another 300 or so at the graduate level. We are really focused on trying to be a partner with the community and with our other universities. All of our dean colleagues on this call are friends, first and foremost, and try to lean into some of the challenges we face. So, whether it's using Tri-College as a vehicle for some of our opportunities for growth, or just sharing guest speakers and other things that we can do together. I think that one thing you find is just a general spirit of coordination as opposed to competition between the three of us. Something I'm real proud of over the last several months that we've been doing is trying to support the business community here in the downtown through COVID, and trying to offer them both how do you shift online and do things virtual, but also if you think your business is just about on the brink of failure, maybe we can be an entity that can help. And Scott Meyer with the NICE Center is doing a lot of work on entrepreneurship. He's kind of like you up at UND, Amy, in terms of his role, and just really helping bridge relationships with the community.
Yeah, Scott's great. We love working with him, and we love working with the NICE Center. And thinking about that, though, you bring up a good point. So thinking about opportunities and collaboration, and what might be some of those opportunities to increase the connectedness and increase kind of the work that you're all doing with the entrepreneurial ecosystem. Is there something that you think might help, or that there was maybe missing that the ecosystem could bring and add value to the programs that you have in your schools? Let's see, we'll have Scott, why don't you actually take the lead, because you were right there. So we'll have you just take the lead on that.
Sure. So I think that there's still a lot of low-hanging fruit for us across our different campuses. So for example, we have entrepreneurship certificates in the college, but MSUM across the river has capabilities we don't. So why not stack those opportunities as opposed to going and building it ourselves. So that is first and foremost just a matter of communicating and finding out what are you doing. MSUM does HR really well. Can we work with that so that we don't have to duplicate everything? And it's a matter of getting together through forums like this, but also just being in regular contact.
Sure, thanks. Well, Josh, he gave you a good opening there. So.
Well, and Scott's absolutely Scott's absolutely correct. I was thinking of the other Scott, Scott Meyer, but Scott and I have talked a bit over the summer about the exact thing that Scott is talking about here, and I think that sort of collaboration across the three schools in the Fargo-Moorhead area, I think, is integral to our long-term success. I think the other thing that I see as an opportunity is maybe redefining what we identify as a student. There's only a lot of us go after the 18-year-olds and the 19-year-olds, but there's the majority of the population is far older than that. So I think there's a real opportunity there for us to take a look at what is a student and how do we meet that different student population. One of the things that our president, Ann Blackhurst, has challenged us with is this notion that, oftentimes we lament that students aren't ready for us, but we need to shift our thinking and ask ourselves, okay, are we ready for our students? Because one of the things that we know is an opportunity, and one of the things we can expect is that our student population is getting far more diverse, both ethnicity, socioeconomic, as well as age. So I think there's another opportunity there when Scott talks about that low-hanging fruit. Mm-hmm. I think that's another one as well, is opening up our definition of what a student is to us and being ready for them.
Yeah, so thinking outside the box. What a good entrepreneurial trait. Chris, I noticed you had your hand up.
Yeah, one of the things that started prior to COVID, which was really interesting to see, is I know our student group. So, obviously Fargo-Moorhead, we're relatively close geographically. We all have entrepreneurship clubs where students are involved in projects. We started seeing them working together as a group rather than just within the school or the college or university. And that would be a great opportunity as COVID slows down to be able to reintroduce that, because as a group, they have other resources, and it was a very collegial experience that we saw start happening last spring and last winter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think COVID's taught us all, again, in that spirit of thinking outside the box, trying to think of some new and different ways to do what it is that we do, for sure. So, Amy. Oh, Amy, it might be muted. Okay.
I'm sorry. Thank you. I was thinking, as Josh was talking about redefining who the student is, I think we have a great opportunity to build our graduate information in entrepreneurship, that we would benefit in the area, the region would benefit by more master degree, even if it's non-credentialing certificates at the graduate level. But I think that's something across all the colleges and universities that we could share, because there is a limited amount of, say, entrepreneurs in residence or individuals who we could bring into the classroom. And if we had a network of that all across our group, I think that would be very helpful. So as Scott said, that we communicate with one another, I think that's critical, that we do a great job at it. And the Berry Foundation often brings us together. And if we could share those resources, then we would only benefit the state as a whole.
Karel, what are your kind of thoughts on that?
Well, the thing is I think it's crucial for us not only to be involved in things like 1 Million Cups and Disrupt Well and Make Well and all the other different avenues where entrepreneurs are involved, but really working with our chamber and the Greater North Dakota Chamber as well. I always like to say I'm a big proponent, coming from that entrepreneurial background, is will the dog eat the dog food? I think that Brad Feld, there's a number of out there. I think it's easy for us to, as an academic institution, to put a lot of stuff together and say, hey, here's a choice. What do you want? I think it's more important for us to get on the communities and saying, what would you like? And then put the resources and dedicate the efforts into meeting the needs of the people of the region. And for so many years, I've seen it where, hey, here's the 5 choices. And they're, like I said, the dog sniffs the dog food and walks away. You could think you have the best program. If the market doesn't want it, it's not a good program. So we really collaborate with our community and find out what it is that they want from us, and then we look to see if we can deliver that. And if we can't, then we partner with those who can.
So such good feedback, right? And make sure you're listening to your customer. Entrepreneurship 101. If the customer doesn't want it, right, it's not going to go anywhere and no one's going to buy it. So we have about 3 to 4 minutes left before we transition back. So I'm wondering if you could, if someone wants to connect with your programs or they want to, work with you and create some kind of partnership, how do they do that? What's the easiest way to do that with each of your programs? Amy, if you want to start us off, that would be great.
Sure. Thank you so much for the opportunity. We would love to connect greater with the community, and you can reach out to my office. Pat O'Neill is our Associate Dean for undergraduate programs and curriculum. So it would be a great opportunity to connect with him. And also we have the Pankratz Career Development Center that oversees internships and experiential opportunities in the area. And Kathy Lund is the director of our Pankratz Center. So I would suggest reaching out to either one of those two.
Excellent. Thanks, Amy. Chris, how about for people in the Concordia area?
Certainly to come to me and we can figure something out. I know Josh and Scott and I collaborate because of just the geography, but it would be great if we could connect more with UND and U of Mary on the opportunities that are there. And it's just a matter of the start. And I know we're going to be having a session after this with the Berry Foundation. And that's been a great platform to explore those ideas and to continue to do that.
Absolutely. Josh, how about at MSUM?
I think like others have said, it just simply reaching out. I mean, I'm fairly new to academics. I spent my career in technology and service industry. And as an entrepreneur myself, I just like ideas. So I would really honestly say that no idea is too crazy. So if you have an idea where we could maybe collaborate, just reach out. And I think like Chris and Scott had said, we within the FM area, we collaborate really well, but we also have the U of Mary in Fargo as well. So I think, if you come to me, I'd be willing to collaborate with the rest of the folks on the phone here. And, no idea is too crazy. So just feel free to reach out.
Thanks. Karel?
Yeah, so I'm blessed. I'm the only Karel at the University of Mary. So if you call here and say, can I talk to that Karel guy, they'll hook you right up. That's good. But yeah, you can reach me, ksovak@umary.edu. Snap me at MaryProf. A number of different ways I make myself available. So, just reach out and we're willing to take place and help out as best we can.
Easier to get a hold of the Karel at Amy than the Amy's at UND. Scott, how about at NDSU?
Yep, same drill. Just reach out to me or visit the College of Business website and you can find what you're looking for. Much like UND with the Amy's, we have the Scotts too. So if you're interested in entrepreneurship, it's Scott Meyer. If you're interested in pretty much anything else, I can get you to the right place.
Double trouble in both places. Excellent. Well, thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time. And just a shout out to the Berry Foundation for bringing us all together and our partnership here in 1 Million Cubs for allowing us to have our conversation today, and the Kauffman Foundation for funding it. So I thank you all for your time. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Greg.
Well, thank you, Amy, and thanks to all the deans for sharing your time. Especially, we just want to give some encouragement to all of you after an incredibly difficult 8-month run so far, making decisions, adjusting, and trying to add value to our students, our faculty, and our community. Thank you for your service. Thank you, and we'll look forward to seeing you next Wednesday at 1 Million Cups.
And that's all we got for this week's 1 Million Cups Fargo podcast. Thank you so much for listening in. 1 Million Cups Fargo is powered by Emerging Prairie, an organization dedicated to connecting and celebrating the entrepreneurial ecosystem. We'd also like to say a thank you to the following sponsors for their support: Midco, the Fargo-Moorhead CVB, the FM Area Foundation, City of Fargo, Pro Resources, and the Kilbourne Group. Catch you again on next week's 1 Million Cups Fargo podcast. See you then.